Houston rappers are incredibly DIY. They write their own music, they record their own music, they press up their own product, they hustle, and they stay in town and they build communities there. That's all of the ethics of punk rock. I think the Houston guys are incredibly punk rock. And when you've got those ethics, nothing from the outside can really touch them. My name is Lance Scott Walker. I am co-author of the book Houston Rap, along with photographer Peter Beste. The music has a lot of different layers. When people look at it from the outside, they might know about the Ghetto Boys, which is Houston's most popular export. Or they might know about DJ Screw, who became famous for slowing down music and having guys freestyle over his tracks. There are really a lot of different layers to it. It's very funk-based. The music does drag. It is a lot slower than a lot of other different kinds of rap music. But there's also different rhythmic styles that a lot of the Houston rappers employ. There isn't any one Houston sound. There's a lot of different sounds from different neighborhoods all around town, and they all sort of layer over one another and influence one another. The biggest stars in Houston still live in Houston, and I think that means a lot to the community. The community really feels like the rappers in Houston belong to them and that the music belongs to them. It sounds like Houston. Houston is hot, it's slow, you gotta drive everywhere, and the music is a reflection of that. Of course, it's also a reflection of the drugs. You know, they drink codeine cough syrup, they smoke marijuana. We didn't want to shy away from showing those things. We weren't going to sugarcoat anything, but we also wanted to give it some context. It's so easy to look at rap and dismiss it on the surface because of what you see. The drugs and the materialism and the jewelry and the cars and the misogyny. But what we wanted to show was the spirit and the work ethic that goes into this form of self-expression. Part of the Houston narrative is this tragic narrative of deaths that really make you shake your head. There were 7, 8, 9 rappers that died in the process of making this book, and we feel like we were very fortunate to be able to get them in the book and to feature them and have some of their last portraits end up being broadcast to the world. Most people who look at this book will never in a million years visit those neighborhoods, and they could never understand what happens in those neighborhoods. But I think there's definitely a sense of hope. You see it in the examples of rappers who've been around for 25 or 30 years and who are still rapping, and they keep working, they keep hustling, they keep grinding. While a lot of people in the book have been through some terrible things in the past, they haven't allowed that to define them or where they're going. So when you grow up with the struggles that you have in these neighborhoods, sometimes all you have left is hope.